Coach Meeks, how you doing?
Man, I'm wonderful, man. I'm wonderful. I'm blessed. You know, I'm blessed to be here.
I'm just so happy that you're on the show. You know, you have influenced the lives of tons of people throughout this country. You know what I'm saying? Vision, mission, purpose.
Yes, sir.
That's your business, that's your brand. And then you're a former basketball player professionally,
Yeah.
a basketball coach, a skills coach.
Yep.
What? Just doing it, huh?
Hey, man, it's a blessing, man, to be able to, to do those type of things, man, in life.
That's good. So, going into this new year, what's your goals? Like, what's something that you want to adjust, like personally in your life?
Well, personally, man, you always, adjusting. You adjust every day.
All right.
Because every day things change. So if you can adapt to change, man, you can live on this earth. So for me, man, I'm just gonna keep it, stay in the flow of what I'm already doing. I work. I do a lot of skill development.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm not gonna change anything. Now I'm gonna change sometimes the effort, because you want to pick that effort up. I'm not gonna let it go back. I'm gonna pick it up. So that's the only change.
How you feel about this pandemic thing going on in this world too? And then you was coaching as well, and doing your skills training. You just trying to maintain life during the pandemic as a grown man.
It was tough.
It was tough.
But I coached at Cottage Hill Christian last season, so we did had to not play some games.
Right.
It was tough. We ended up making it to the championship. We lost in the championship.
You told me.
It was a tough season because you had to go back and forth. Some kids you didn't have, that you really needed, that couldn't play. So
was it because of grades or was it because?
I was at Cottage Hill Christian.
It was
so.
that. Yeah.
They got to keep
they got to keep
grade
it up.
level. So those kids are smart. You know what I'm saying? So it'd never be the grade.
Was it like the COVID situation?
Yeah, some kids just couldn't play.
I know.
They had to miss games. We missed games, and certain teams we couldn't play.
Right.
Because they had COVID issues. So, I mean, man, you have to just do what you can to stay away from certain places.
Right.
Wear your mask, that type of stuff.
You got to.
Try to stay healthy.
Stay healthy.
Eat right.
Eat right.
So that's the main thing.
Very important.
That's gonna help this pandemic.
Health as well. You got to be healthy to maintain a full day schedule. You can't be having like heart problems or deficiencies. You can't breathe. You can't walk for too long. You can't stand on your feet for too long.
It's an issue.
Health is important.
It is very important to be able to succeed. You know what I'm saying? You can't be afraid of success. From success now, a lot of people say, oh man, I'm successful now, I can go work out, I can go do this. But guess what? The grind is, you know what I'm saying, when you can do it when you ain't successful.
Coach, my mom, she was telling me, trust the climb. Cause I'm like, I'm trying to get it so early.
Yeah.
But you gotta climb a little bit. You gotta dig.
It's a process.
You gotta dig to get to the goal.
Yeah.
And she was like, trust the climb. She's like, you doing good, but trust the climb. You get a little too impatient.
Yeah.
And I was like, I understand that. Can't be afraid of success.
You cannot.
And that stuck out to me what you said.
You cannot be afraid of success. One thing you have to do is you have to prepare yourself. You know what I'm saying? It's preparation. That's what the climb is.
That's preparation.
It's preparation. The action or process of being made ready. The action or process of being made ready.
Look at the camera and tell them that, man.
The action or process of being made ready. That's what preparation is. Preparation eliminates your fear.
Right. And that's your quote. That's like your
my
life
trademark.
motto, huh?
Yes, that's my trademark, man. I trademarked that in 2018.
In 2018?
May of 2018, that actually became a registered trademark.
So when did that become your motto, your way of life?
I've always prepared myself.
Right.
Now, people always know me of, man, when I was growing up in Texas Street Rec, I grew up on that Texas Street Rec had two ends.
Right. Yes, sir.
We didn't play whole court. This end was for the unskilled.
Yeah.
This end was for the skilled. And Texas Street, man, we they grew up, man, with Antonio Lane, Jason Caffey, Terry Catlett.
Right.
It's all kinds of people, man, that grew up there, man. It's just people that that has made it to the league.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, it was amazing to grow up at Tech Street Rec. But when you got skilled, when you know, they saw you was working on your game, and they let you come down there and play with them.
It was like it felt good. It felt like
yeah, man. It felt real good. You know, you got Sidney Vaughn, you got all these people. That
and
some
these
people
were
don't even
local.
know.
These were local players who were really good down here in Mobile.
Yes, man. They compared him to Scottie Pippen. Well, because
like
he went to Central Arkansas.
Like defensive wise, or just
no, his game. They
played like him?
were like they was like the same, man. He about 6'6", went to BC Reign. Man, it was people that came out of BC Reign, man, that was really good during that era, during the 90s.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's when your Jason Caffey, but that's when Tony Lane came out. You know, he came out thinking like 89, 90. With my brother came out in 89 from BC Reign. He played football though.
Okay.
He went to Alabama A&M.
A&M.
Yeah, and won the SWAC.
Oh,
Jeff Meeks. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, man,
That's
but
fine.
he was good. He played, you know, it was a lot of guys that was real good, man, that came out of Mobile and Texas Street.
And basketball though.
In basketball.
And did they have like, you know how right now, currently, and like my generation down here, we got good basketball players, but the high recruiters not coming down here.
No, they.
It's coming for football more than basketball.
Yes, man.
But they was coming down here around that time. And why do you think that changed though?
I mean, and you got Angelo Hamilton too. He was one that, I mean, those two guys played on national TV against each other.
Right.
And they went to the floor, and they were cousins. They were first cousins. Now check that out. You from Mobile, you first cousins, and you finna play against each other on national TV.
I know they were going at it.
What? He went to Oklahoma, and Antonio Lane went to Duke. And man, he did a 360 in front of Dick Vitale. Dick Vitale said, and this was in crunch time of the game.
That's when like, are you kidding me? Is that dude say, are you kidding me?
He was like, oh, you kidding me? He showtime and it's crunch time. If he missed that, he put him on. Man, he did a 360.
Wow, that thing.
Think about that. And you from Mobile, Alabama.
I
You played for Sherwood. He played for Sherwood.
I don't know about Sherwood.
You don't know about Sherwood, but you better do your research, Al. You know what I'm saying? But it's good though. You know what I'm saying? Because Mobile produced a lot of, man. You got Jason McCutcheon, Russell McCutcheon. You know what I'm saying? You got Miles Thrash.
Right.
You know, and this just a handful of people that, I mean, can play back. You got Terrence Pinckney. Man, you got these people that did both sports. You know what I'm saying? So it was things that people don't know in the world about.
So it seemed like it's very in tune. Were these guys older than y'all around the same age?
Well, most of them were older.
Yeah, I see, because it seemed like you very excited. You got like you admiring what they were doing at that time. So let's talk about your childhood. Let's talk about where you from and what kind of got you into the sports and into that lane. You say you grew up around Texas Street Rec. See how the guys play basketball and things like that.
Yeah, I grew up around in down the Bay.
Right.
You know, the down the Bay area. Probably one of the, I'm not gonna brag, but it's probably one of the most, you know what I'm saying, dignified places in Mobile besides Thomasville. You know what I'm saying? Like down the Bay, man, got a lot of history. I got WA's Council School down there. That's where Hank Aaron went to school.
Wow.
So you think,
man, you very cultured though.
Oh yeah.
And that's important because you know in the 5 wells, well cultured. Like well traveled. That's all that kind of go into each other.
It does.
You gotta know the different races, the different cultures, so you can expand your mind and be able to fit into those different spaces with different people.
Yeah,
you know?
and that's the main thing.
I did not know that.
See, you gotta.
That's cool.
It's a lot of history.
Yeah.
It's a lot of history in Mobile. But I'm gonna tell you though, my deep roots, man, where my mom and my dad them from is Evergreen, Alabama. My dad's from Evergreen. My mom's from Nimps, Alabama. That's where Fred Richardson is from. Him and my mom grew up together. Went to the same school. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about grew up together, bro. And the thing is, my mom, Picard, lived on a plantation, J. Villa Plantation down in Nimps, Alabama. This place was established in 1861. My great granddad was 112 when he passed away. And I was living to see him.
112.
In the house that
Well, you just talking about help too.
Yeah, he built this house by himself, and it's still standing.
Wow.
And it has writings on the wall that he sent to my great grandmama. This is my grandmother's mother, and you know what I'm saying. And it was deep, man. Like I grew up, my mom, you know, it was 11 of them. It's 11 of them.
He was writing letters for her and stuff.
Love letters.
That's 2-player.
Hey man. And look, hey, on the wall, the walls were made of the stuff that go on the ceilings. You know what I'm saying? The shingles. That was the wall. That's the wall. So when you rubbing on the wall, then you rubbing on the shingles. On shingles. It's deep, man. And my mom, them, it's 11 of them. You know, 2 of them passed away. Lord rest their soul. And I think like 40-something grandkids just from that side.
Why? In older times, it seemed like the families were very big.
Ooh, yeah.
Like mom and dad, like 9, 10 children.
Yeah, some of them 16 and man, look.
I'm trying to see how is that, cause in our generation, it's not really like that though.
Nah, because it's fast. Then it was slow. You know what I'm saying? Like you got mother, like there, man, it's a country. So when you living in the country, y'all, it's you and that person. You know what I'm saying? And
okay.
It's not like you don't have.
all
I mean,
these
it's
options.
like 15 minutes to get. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 to 15 minutes to get to go to the grocery store. So y'all gotta really connect. And I mean, they raise chickens, cow. You know what I'm saying? Horses, pigs.
It was real companionship back then.
Yeah, so it's companionship.
It
Y'all
like
sitting there
just
talking all day, and then you got your kids pulling up, and then you got your grandkids pulling up, and they all running around, and you got your kids, you know, helping y'all to live. You know what I'm saying? So it was like you got fruit trees out here.
That's deep.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
deep.
the country is where it is. I mean, we had pump water. You know, it was sometime, man, my grandma didn't even have a bathroom for a long time. For a long time.
Was it outside or had like a little?
Yeah,
it was a system
like
they had around.
we took like baths in foot tubs sometimes. Now think about it, man. Some of my cousins, you know, we deep. Like I got a cousin, man, that, you know, he was in the wars, man. You know, Randy Jackson, and he did like 7 tours. He was on the front line when Bush said go. Go get him.
And he made it. He made it.
And he was, man, he made it. I see him all the time.
That's good. How old is he?
He me around the same age, so he around about 44, 45. And he's in his right mind, you know what I'm saying? And I thank God for that.
Yeah.
I thank God for that. But my upbringing was really from that. And then I came to Mobile. You know, I would go there on the weekend, during the summer. But then come back to Mobile, and it was like a grind for me.
The grind.
It was a grind.
What was the grind?
I got cut a lot of times. Like I got cut in 7. I got cut
basketball.
In basketball. I got cut in the 7th grade. I got cut in the 8th grade.
Right.
When I got cut in the 8th grade, I went and played. You know, I played at Texas Street. The Most High took me to Texas Street because it was a family atmosphere. And then when I got cut, we ended up winning the state championship. And I never forget this story, man. Coach G down at Texas Street. We made it to the state championship game. And we were down by like 6 points. No, we were down by like 5. So I got the ball. He told me not to shoot. I'm right in front of the bench. Don't shoot it, Fred. Shot it anyway. Bang.
Made it.
Did it again. Came down again. Don't shoot it, Fred. He told me to say, don't shoot it, Fred. Boom. Put us up. You know, win the state championship. You know what I'm saying? But I got cut. So then my 9th grade year, I went to BC Rain. I played freshman. And I tried out again in the 10th grade, got cut. But the team was full of seniors. So guess what I did? I said, okay. It made me even madder. I was so mad, I was hurt. And man, I went to my backyard because I had a little goal in my backyard. So every day, man, my brother would beat me up, man. My brother would punish me. He played football, 6'4", about 250.
Yeah.
You know, and was a 2nd-degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh,
My dad is a 3rd. My dad, they call my dad Mr. Miyagi because he's a 3rd-degree black belt. He taught Taekwondo.
I did karate too.
Yeah. I know it. You know, it's a deep thing, man. But it teaches you patience. It teaches you peace. So for me, that's what helped me too. You know, that's what really helped me because I understood that when nobody was gonna give it to me. Mm-hmm. That's where my preparation came in at.
From you was down, then you came up.
And I see my family. I see how my mom, you know, they went through some stuff in their life. And I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna accomplish things for them.
Right.
The things I did, it was a lot had to do with my family, you know, and me showing them, you know, being an example. So that's, I mean.
And were you like the youngest, or well, how old were you? Because you said you had an older brother.
I got an older brother. Yep. And I got a younger brother up under me, a half brother.
So it's just 3 of y'all?
Yeah, in that.
Oh.
Two of us in that family. Me and my older brother grew up together.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, my 10th grade year I got cut. Then I made the team my 11th grade year. And then my 12th grade year we end up, and at Texas Street, I end up playing with the same guys that I grew up with at Texas Street.
That were better.
Yes, man, we were good too, I'll tell you. Like people know that, man, those guys were good at BC Rain from you know, 90 to 94, and then we ended up going to the state championship in 94. We lost to Hartsville. And a crazy story about that is when we went to play against them, the championship, I ended up going to Faulkner, right? And I tried out for Faulkner.
Right.
And it was probably about 200 guys in there, man. You know, and we tried out. I'm talking about some talent. And a lot of people don't know this story, man. But the guys who were there know it. Man, I end up. The coach Robinson said, "Has anybody not played yet?" I'm shortening it up. Everybody sitting in the bleachers, and he said, "Did anybody not played?" I said, "I ain't played yet, coach." And some guys knew me, you know what I'm saying? They knew I had what I did at BC.
Yeah,
right?
they knew you were playing there.
Yeah, and so he looked at me, he was like, "What?" He was like, "Man, it's time to go." You know what I'm saying? He was like, "All right, I'm gonna give you a chance." So he put 9 guys out there with me. But you think about that. The whole while we trying out, you get to the end, and the Most High put the spotlight on me. You know what I'm saying? He really put the spotlight on me.
So what you mean when he say he put the spotlight on you for that time? So it's like you didn't play that whole day for real?
I hadn't played the whole day.
Cause it was 200 of y'all.
It might not be. It was between 160 and 200. It was a lot of guys in there, man, that was trying out for fall that day. You know what I'm saying? And so everybody had been playing. You know, we were working out. Everybody had been playing. So he said that. I said, man, I ain't. So we went out there, got the playing. I showed him what I could do. And I showed him what I could do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody like, "We told you, coach." He didn't let me leave Faulkner before I signed a scholarship.
He let you leave. You was trying to say, I gotta think about it all.
He didn't have to think about it or nothing. He signed me that night. You know what I'm saying? He signed me that night, and I had to try it out for different places, man. You know what I'm saying? I had to try it out, and nobody called me. And I went over there and tried out, man. At the end, that man said, "You come on back here in my office." And my career started then. Me playing basketball really started then, as far as school. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like somebody saw what I was worth.
Okay.
Somebody saw what I was worth. So, and after that, man, I mean, I was balling.
Yeah.
Like, I was balling.
So how was that? In Faulkner was a smaller school at that time.
Junior college. Yeah.
So
it was called Faulkner. Now it's called Coastal. It was Faulkner State Junior College. You know what I'm saying? Sun Chiefs. Real Sun Chiefs. This school was like a 4-year school. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had dorms and everything.
So did you get discovered professionally from Faulkner, or did you go to another school or anything?
No, actually, I after I played my freshman year, and then I became ineligible. I messed around, got in trouble. I ain't really get in no trouble, but I wasn't focused on my grades. So sometimes when you thinking that you balling, and you thinking that you on top of the world, God, you know, the Most High bring you down, and he'll humble you, and that's what he did. He humbled me, and man, I couldn't play my second year. So what happened? Another story. My mom, once Coach Robinson found out that I was gonna be ineligible, he called my mama over there, over the phone. We sat in the office, and he told me, he said, well, Miss Meeks, Fred and Elder can't play this year. You got to see, you know what I'm saying?
A whole year?
Sit out. This what happened though. I couldn't play, but I could come back to school after a semester. They put me on probation. First they suspended me, then they put me on probation. So he told my mom, he was like, well, he ain't gonna be able to play, he ain't gonna be able to come to school, you gotta sit out a semester. My mom looked at me like, me and you sitting right here. She turned around and looked at me, she said, you going to the Army. And she said, you ain't sitting your ass around here not doing that. That's how tough my mom was. She said, you ain't sitting around here getting in trouble. They ain't gonna kill you around here. So you gonna take your butt to the Army. And Coach Robinson, man, I thank him.
You say you think of Coach?
I said, man, Coach Robinson, Miss Meeks. Nah, we got a couple options for Fred. He said, we can give him a red shirt year though. He can sit out. He can come, he can try to prove himself, get his grades together, and it'll just be a red shirt year. So he'll lose a year. So she looked at me. She said, "What you gonna do? You gonna get your act together?" And I looked at Coach Robinson. I said, "Man, you ain't gonna have to worry about me again." I said, "I'm gonna make sure." So I ended up working at Montgomery Ward in Mobile, doing floors. And I would think about this every night. I let guys down that I shouldn't have let down. You know what I'm saying? And so I thought about that every day. Every day it was a struggle, and God brought me down. So I started working out, man. I started thinking about it. I started going to class during the summer. You know what I'm saying? I had the head coach of the girls, Coach Pitts. She was I had to take an aerobics class, and it helped me boost my GPA. So it was people in the class. She would let everybody else lead, and you had to do like sprints, run miles and time and all that type of stuff. She would let people lead class, and she kept me there, and she made me run all summer, 100-degree weather. She made me run, and at the end, the final exam, you had to run a mile. She let everybody go. They ran the mile, but she didn't time me. She timed me. I ran in like 4 minutes or something. And she really pushed me to be better during that summer. I still went to work, you know what I'm saying? All that. Then I was able to move back in the dorm. But I went to the first game of that season that I couldn't play. And I sat in the stands, man, and I cried. I had to walk to the back. Because, man, it was guys that were dependent on me, man. Cause
they lost?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't lose. They had a good season.
Not like they lost that game?
No, they won.
Okay.
They won the game. But they didn't finish like, you know what I'm saying, like we would have finished. If you know what I'm saying, if I was playing. And so I let a lot of people down. And then, man, we lost a player. Like, one of my teammates passed away, and at fault, my freshman year. Ernest Petway, Lord rest his soul. And he lost first game of the conference tournament. And crazy thing, man, before that game, we was playing Wallace Hansfield. And a white guy came up too. He said, "Man, y'all know Fred Meeks?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm Fred." He was like, "Man, I'm such and such. I played for Hartsel. Now, Hartsel just beat us in the state championship."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I said, "Okay." I said, I'm about to pay you back, right? He said, "Yeah, don't do us bad." You know what I'm saying? Because we had a squad that year. We was like ranked in the, you know what I'm saying? We was ranked like high. We was finna win the state. And because we was hosting the tournament at Faulkner.
Right.
So, I mean, we had like 7, 8 Division I players, man, that was on our squad. So we already knew we was gonna win. It was the first game that we played. We had a bye. And so it was probably about first half, game had just started. Coach put him in because he had been sick, throughout the year. And got to that game, and coach put him in. He got out there, man, ran up a couple times and got down, man, and collapsed.
Oh my gosh. At the game.
Doing the game. And, you know, they end up going out there, man, and it took a little while for the paramedics to get there, but he sat there, man, we didn't know what was wrong. They took all of us to the back, and they left. We praying, you know, we singing our little song. Hopefully, man, that he'll be all right. And Coach Robinson came back and told us he had passed away, man. And I think that was one of the most devastating things besides some of my
really is.
passing, man.
It really is.
That was one of the most devastating things that had happened to me and my teammates, and my, you know, and the school.
And the people in the crowd too.
Yeah,
Who wants to see that?
Yeah, man. And you know, that's around the time where I think it was the guy played for Loyola Marymount. He did the same. Hank Gallis. He passed away too like that. And this was around the same time. And man, it was tough. And I flunked. You know, like that took a toll on me. It did. It really did. I mean, I stopped going to class, man. It was like it took a toll on me, man. And I'm not blaming it that my setback on that, but it was a part of it. And so I had to bounce back from that. And then that year I didn't play. I came back my third year. Then I was able to, you know, I had trained, man. I worked so hard. I was running during the summer, man. I really got focused. And I started having schools recruit me, man. I started getting letters from Colorado, Colorado State, Arkansas State, you know, like Louisiana State. I started getting, I'm like getting letters, man. I'm like, golly, man. You know, after having a setback like I had, and then coming back and got these schools, man, and Wimp Sanderson, man, he wanted me to sign early at Arkansas Little Rock. And he came to my house before my third year, before my season even started. After being ineligible, he came and watched me play during the summer. His son coached at University of Mobile. His son told him about me, and he ended up coming out to University of Mobile watching us play. It's a pickup game. And man, I ended up, the ball bounced off the back of the rim. Guys who know me remember this. And I caught the ball off the rim. He was sitting over there.
Wearing that thing.
Bam, on about 4 or 5 of them.
Put back.
Man, look, Wimp Sanderson got up and walked out. 2 weeks later, man, he was sitting in my front room.
Crazy.
Wimp Sanderson, who coached the University of Alabama, who coached Jason Caffey, who I do camps with right now. He coached him in college. He coached him in college at Alabama. Then he ended up leaving Alabama, going to Arkansas Little Rock. This man used to call me in the dorm room, man. I ended up at the end of that year, because I used to do some, you know what I'm saying, like, we was young. You know, I was like 18, man, then at the time, 18, 19. So I had already signed. I had already had the school looking at me. He had already said he was going to sign me. And then I ended up getting caught up coming from Mobile to Bangmanette. Me and one of my teammates had bought some beer. See, this how, you know, you have to watch what you do, because certain things can get you caught up. And so I ended up, the beer wasn't open, we wasn't drinking, you know what I'm saying? But we had it in a bag. The police pulled us over, probably about a quarter of a mile to the school. We was almost to the school. They pulled us over.
So what, were y'all speeding, or they just were trying to see who was in the car?
Yeah, he was just he was following me. So I switched lanes. And I couldn't tell because it was dark. You know, he was 31, that's a dark road, you know what I'm saying? So he ended up pulling me over. Then they ended up taking us to jail. And I was in jail probably about 6-7 hours, me and my teammate. The owner of the school, Faulkner, Mr. Faulkner, found out that I was in there. One of my teammates told Coach Robinson. I guess Coach Robinson went and told Mr. Faulkner. His office was at the jailhouse. He owned the school. He owned half of Bangmanette.
Why is officers in the jail?
Because he owned Bangmanette.
That's crazy.
He owned Bangmanette. So he ended up calling and telling them, I heard y'all got Fred Meeks in there. Let him go.
Let him go. Stop playing.
And whoever he with, whoever with him, let them go. And the lady came, she said, who is Fred Meeks? I said, I am. She said, come here. She said, you must be somebody important. She said, because Mr. Faulkner called down here and told us to let you go. And whoever else with you. So, y'all come on, get y'all stuff, let's go. But I had to do community service in Bay Minette. So that was humbling in itself.
Yeah, so you was just getting, all throughout your life, you was getting built up.
He was building me up. And man, Wimp Sanders ended up calling me and he found out about that. And he was like, I gotta do my investigation on you. I don't know now. Now, you gotta, scholarships are scarce. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I had other schools, but University of Maine, they sent me a bunch of letters. They was on me, man. They would come to all my games. Like, every time I looked up in the stands, I seen a big old Maine, you know, a big Maine jacket. And assistant coach kept telling me, like, man, they want you. So they end up bringing me on a recruiting visit. And I went, and this was in March, April. I left here, and you know, it's like probably like 80 degrees, 90 degrees here, like humid. Man, I went up there, man, I ain't know how the weather was. I ain't had that many clothes. In that time, man, it was snow on the ground. Yeah. It was still, these folks still wearing thermals and boots and jackets. And I'm coming, you know what I'm saying, it's hot. Get up there on recruiting visit, man, I had a good time. You know how they do, you know, you don't know yet. But
I know.
It was tough.
I heard stories.
It was tough. It was tough.
You loved it. They make sure you have a good time. They bring you back.
Man.
I heard so.
It was nice though. You know, they treated me nice. I had never been on a plane. That was my first time ever getting on a plane, going to my recruiting visit. So I get on the plane. I'm scared, man. I'm like, oh man, I'm nervous to get on the plane. I get there, and they treated me, man, real well. So when I got back home, back to the dorm, Wimp Sanderson called that Sunday. That's when he started going off on me. He was like, I gotta do more investigation, I gotta do this. And I said, man, let me tell you something. I said, nah, I told you I'm a good person. I said, I just messed up, you know what I'm saying? I said, I made a mistake. I said, I wasn't even drinking. I said, the bill wasn't even open. He was like, well, I don't know yet. I gotta do some more investigation. I said, okay. Hung up the phone. I called a coach from University of Maine, Dr. John Giannini. I said, man, I'm gonna sign with y'all.
And you know,
I ain't know. He was stunned. He was like, no, I know you lying. You cause I was highly recruited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was balling.
Cause you really gotta, in life anyway, the people you surround yourself are the woman you want in life or whatever, they have to really want you. I feel like you need to go to the people who really down for you.
Who really want you.
So I think you made the right choice.
I think I did too.
You know?
It was a, even though I went through something everywhere I went, you know what I'm saying? Like, and they signed me, you know, they ended up signing, and when his assistant coach called, he said, man, I saw when you signed, I can't believe it. Oh, I told Wimp, you wasn't no bad kid. I told Wimp this. I mean, he was hot. And I said, well, you know, sorry, man, but I didn't sign now. So, on my way to Maine, get on the plane, man, I had to leave my family, go all the way to a different world, and I cried on the plane. And I was on my way, man, I cried like a baby. But when I got there, man, I was homesick already. But my first year, we got in the ice storm. Like, everything froze over. So that really, like, got me. And
like, man, it's free.
Man, it's like 20, 30, 40 below, man.
You know, it's wild.
It was an experience coming from Alabama, going to a different state that was colder than, you know, than Canada. Canada was cold, you know, but I end up enduring, man. I end up having to go through a lot, and I scored a lot of points.
Right.
Coming from Faulkner, with the confidence that I had a lot of confidence. Coach Robinson put a lot of confidence in me to shoot the basketball. And that confidence built up. Why? Because he would come in the gym and see me in there by myself. You know, he would see me, you know, going in the weight room. He would see me running. he would see the preparation that I put in to be better than those who wasn't doing what I was doing. So I stuck out. And when I got to Maine, it carried over. Because I got there, man, I carried my basketball on the plane, on my recruiting visit. I took my basketball wherever I went. And the assistant coach was like, man, you got your basketball? Like, I'm like, yeah, this is my girl.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta take it wherever I go. You know, so he was tickled by that. Actually, that Mike Menninger, he's the assistant coach at University of Oregon right now.
Okay.
So, you know, it was a situation where, man, they had confidence in me too, and that's why I got a lot of my swag from up north. That's why guys down here really couldn't.
Man, up north, it's a different vibe. It's a different lifestyle.
Different.
When I went to New York, I was like that too. I was like,
It's
yeah.
different. It's
I was
totally
like,
different.
It's
Up north,
different
it's
people.
Yeah,
It's a mentality. They mentality, and I was talking to somebody from Maryland, like 2 months ago, a month ago or something. It was a husband and wife.
Yeah.
And we was just talking. We had just a very deep intellectual conversation in 5 minutes. I just, you know.
Yeah.
And she was telling me, I was like, you know, down here the mentality is so wrong. Everybody want to do the same thing. Or they, if you trying to do good, that's uncool. You lame.
You lame.
You forbidden from us.
Yep.
And it was like up north, the adults really give advice and take heed and really love and talk with the youth.
They do.
And I was like, that's the difference right there.
It is.
Cause it be mothers acting like they daughter, they sisters, and daddies be nowhere to be found. Or he don't even know his purpose, his passion. He can't even lead the son in the right direction. It's stuff like that.
It's generational, man. You know what I'm saying? It's generational. So for that, you gotta be, as a man, you know, you gotta be able to speak into yourself first.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to speak to yourself, because life and death is in the power of your tongue. So you gotta also be able, if God and the Most High, if He bless you to have children, you gotta be able to speak into them as well. You can't just, come on, son, come on, let's go get you some joy. Come on, let's go, you know, hang out. Nah, you gotta be speaking into him. You gotta be telling him what he is.
I was feeling that too, cause you know, I was talking to my dad. I was calling my dad. I was, you know, just on the way home. So I called him, and it was a situation that I just needed advice on it or something. And I ain't like what he told me.
Yeah.
But a couple hours later, I thought about it. I talked to him again. It kind of made sense once I calmed down or whatever. And he was like, I wouldn't be a good parent. I wouldn't be your parent if everything I said was something that you like.
Ooh.
I was like, okay. I said, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
I said, that's true. So
that's very true. It's very true. Because
I understand.
He wouldn't be you know, man, God is, your mom is your first God. You know, I just saw something like, it said that, and it really was profound to me, because that's the first person that showed you love.
Right.
When you entered this earth, when you
She
came out of her womb,
yeah, you was in her.
you was in her. She had the
growing in her and stuff. It's a
then,
whole
when you
nother-
come out of that, and your daddy able to see that.
Cause as I get older, when my mom is like, she calms me.
Yeah.
It's like it's nothing like your mama. So
Man,
I go a long time without talking to my mom. I probably go a week or a couple of days. I hear my mama's voice.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah, you feel.
But I don't be saying nothing.
Uh-huh.
But you know what I'm saying? I be like,
Yeah.
that's my mama right there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You gotta
and
show
like,
your mama some love.
I'll be at work or something. My mama coming from the corner. I'll be like, hold on. She walk around the corner. So I
Yeah.
said, you just know. You just know.
And your mama gonna feel your pain. Your mama gonna feel if something going wrong with you.
Right.
Your mama gonna feel when you happy.
Right.
She's gonna be so joyous, you know. And once you understand that about life, once you understand your mama, then you start understanding your auntie. Then you start understanding your female cousin. Then you start understanding the females outside of that family realm. You know what I'm saying? But first, you like for me, my family big, so I learned, I saw a lot of things with my female cousins. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things with my aunties. So to understand that about life, and to understand that my mom, you know, thank God that she's still here. Cause you got a lot of people that don't have their moms physically. You know what I'm saying? Especially a lot of women.
Yeah, my dad lost his mother, and that took toll on him.
Yeah,
you know?
man, and that hurt.
Uh-huh.
That'll hurt. So I'm thankful. But then I'm also heartfelt for those who don't have their mom.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I try to cherish my time. You know, I just like, bruh,
Yeah.
time is important to me now.
It's got to be important.
It's
It ain't
important.
really about time. Really, it's not about time. It's about like your emotions and you being connected with the ones who has nourished you throughout life. You understand what I'm saying? And so time doesn't even matter. It don't even matter because every day you got to do the right thing. Every day you gonna live. You know what I'm saying? And if you forget about that clock, then you can start living really the way you're supposed to
Yeah.
live. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Because now I can't say, man, I'm gonna call my mama at 6 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Because what if your mama needs you at 5:30? What if she need to hear your voice at 5:30? You gonna wait till 6 o'clock? If the Most High tell you to call your mama, you better call your mama. Because guess what? Your mama gonna call you when the Most High tell her to call you, because she know it's that intuition.
I ain't never think of it like that. But I'm gonna start doing it.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
start
important.
doing it. You know, we getting gems on this show.
It's important.
But you know, we already said that.
Yeah, we already
You said the Most High told you to call me to do this interview, huh?
He called. I'm
I'm
telling
telling you.
Hey, now I'm not perfect.
You know.
I've never been perfect. But my mindset has always been to strive to be the best. You know what I'm saying? Like
That
be
kind
the
of grew
best.
on me within, I'm 19 now, that kind of got on me, I think, year 17.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I want to be a boss.
And ain't nothing wrong
You
with
know,
that.
like, I'm like, yeah.
It's nothing wrong with that.
Uh-huh.
Al. We were talking about don't be afraid of success. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best. Because why? You're going to prepare yourself to be better than the rest. You understand what I'm saying? You prepare yourself to be better than those that's not preparing themselves. That's why you will stick out. See what I'm saying? You always stick out because you like, okay, I see him, that ain't right. Let me go over here and do this the right way. And right go always follow you. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing the right thing. And so even when I was in school, I end up getting close to graduation. And after my 2 years, my eligibility, I mean, my first year I was one of the leading scorers in the nation. Like I averaged close to 24 points a game. And I was cocky, man.
You was cocky?
Man,
Like, you were talking or you just had that
I
body
had a
language?
swag like I didn't care who I played against. It didn't matter.
You were talking to?
I was talking.
No.
But I wasn't like talking on social media. We didn't have social
you don't
media
have
like
all that, but you was talking
But when I
in
seen a
person.
player and he started talking, I really didn't get hot until somebody said something to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it clicked. Every time if somebody said
You had that
something
mama
to me,
mentality,
I
for real.
promise you I did. They used to call me the brown mama down in Orlando. They called me the brown mama because they saw that and I'm playing with NBA guys overseas, you know, like some dudes, man, down in Orlando. And we were hooping every day. And they were like, man, this dude the brown mama, man.
So but they saying that because you kind of, your game was similar to Kobe, or was it, I was trying to ask you, what was your game similar to? Because I watched you play in the game.
Yeah.
It kind of was like that, but you had your own style.
I used to watch Kobe a lot, but I watched Mike. I watched, but man, there was a lot of players that I watched at Texas Street that didn't even know that I was taking their game because I watched them every day, you know, and I said, okay, he do it like this. And I started learning little tricks.
All right, so look, I want to say this. I want to get into your coaching part too now. So for all the basketball players watching this, or even if you're another athlete for another sport, taking what you saying, you know, they can take what you say out of this question out and put it into their life, into their game. What separates an athlete from other athletes, though? Like, specifically basketball, though. What would separate a basketball player from others around? And that could be just the way you pass, the way you influence the game, the leadership, whatever, you know.
What would separate you, man, is what you do when no one else is looking. When no one else is watching you, what are you doing? You know, what are your daily actions? What are you doing to prepare yourself? So if you think about that, if I get up in the morning and I don't surround myself with people that is on the same level as I am mentally and see the same vision as me, I'm not gonna really go as hard as I should.
Right.
So when you by yourself, now it's you against yourself.
It is.
And if you can sit in a gym and say, okay, I gotta make 1,000 shots today, and you can miss 25 in a row. And if you can sit in that gym and say, well, I ain't leaving the gym until I make these 1,000, you separating yourself.
Cause ain't nobody gonna just do that when they miss. You get tired.
You separating yourself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You separating yourself. Then when you do it again, you might come in there by yourself. Instead of you missing 20, you done miss 15. You said, I'm finna make these 1,000. You make them 1,000 that day, then guess what you do? You come back the next day. You might, you know what I'm saying, you might miss 10. Like, okay, you're getting better.
Yeah, you get real better.
Then you do it again. Until now you come in the gym and everything you shoot, great, going in. And if you by yourself in the gym, it's a different feeling for you to bend and push yourself to that point and running sprints by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Timing yourself. And then when you do that, and then when you go out there in front of people, can't nobody tell you nothing.
Cause you put in the work.
You done put in the work by yourself.
And that's where that preparation eliminates fear. So you say you didn't care because you put in that work.
Yes, sir. That's why when they came to me and they said, man, some people say, man, you arrogant. I'm not arrogant.
You did this, like you know what it is.
I know. It's just like if nobody can tell me, I'm not gonna say you can't tell me nothing, but if somebody come to me and say, man, the Most High did this for me, you don't know what he'll do. I say, well, you can't tell me that. I know what he'll do. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with him, but inside of me, I'm like, man, well, you just don't know. I done did this, and God done brought me out of this, and this. But if you tell that testimony, and they say, oh man, I ain't did nothing like that, now they think you're arrogant. You understand what I'm saying? Because if you able to live through these things, people can't understand what the Most High do for you. Some people understand what another person has done for you, but they don't never understand what the Most High, because it's a difference. You understand what I'm saying? It's a total difference unless they walking in that same realm. So for me, I knew I was in the gym at 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, putting in work. So when I got in the game, they couldn't touch me because I done already beat up myself. You know what I'm saying? I done already put myself through these things. So a coach can push me to the limit. I done ran in the snow. I done ran in 100-degree weather. I done ran in all kinds of weather. But he couldn't push me to that brink to make me quit. Why? I already put myself through it. That's why Kobe was so good. That's why Kobe acted the way he acted. That's why he walked in the gym and he demanded that you be better than him. You know, if you ain't better than me, you can't talk. If I don't see you in the gym before me, you can't talk to me. You can't tell me nothing. You can't tell me what I ain't doing. You can't tell me what I need to do. Cause I ain't see you in the gym before me. Cause I know I was in here at 3. You wasn't in here at 2:30.
Well, yeah, 2:30.
You wasn't in here. You know what I'm saying? I've been in here. I know you ain't been here. Right. So for me, I always was confident because I put in the work. I put in, it was action. It was a process. And man, my senior year, I finished in the top 40 in the country. That's after having reconstructive surgery on my wrist. That's after playing with a cast on my wrist my senior year. I went through all that and still was able to average double figures, after leading my conference in scoring with 19.5 points a game. So when they say, man, Fred ain't do this, Fred is known across the country. And I don't even sit, this is the first time I have ever really talked about what I have actually done. I mean, I got 2 college degrees. I graduated from Faulkner after going through that setback. I graduated, I got my degree. I went to Maine for 3 years. I had to go back. I didn't even play my last year.
At Maine?
In Maine.
Okay.
I went 2 years. I came home because I had a torn ligament in my wrist. I came home and had reconstructive surgery. I had 2 pins in my wrist. They offered me, before I left, to come home for the summer. They said, Fred, you only need 4 classes to get your bachelor's degree.
I'll let you in.
We're gonna offer you to come back to Maine. We already got a doctor that's gonna take the pins out. Because that's another surgery. So I had to go back to Maine, have another surgery where they took the pins and stuff
I see it
out.
on your hand too. I see the wrist.
Yeah,
I
mean,
see it on your wrist.
they inserted it there, and I got a screw on my wrist now.
Yeah, I see it.
A little old bitty screw. So they said, we're gonna offer you to come back to Maine. We're gonna pay for you to finish your degree. We're gonna keep you on scholarship. We're gonna give you rehab. So this lady at University of Maine, Miss Paula Linder, she gave me rehab for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, put me through it. I mean, I'm hollering in a, it was excruciating pain. And man, I would go in the gym, and I would go in the gym and shoot with one hand. Bam! I had a cast on. I'm going there shooting. I got guys passing me the ball. Bam! Shooting by myself. You know what I'm saying? And I'm ambidextrous, so I can shoot with my left hand.
I remember you was teaching them when you was training. You telling them to shoot out left hand.
Yeah, because people know that I can do that too. I mean, I ain't trying to go back, but in high school, me and this guy, we had a 3-point contest in front of the whole school, and it was probably about 10 of us in it. Best shooters in the school. Got down to 2 of us. I was a senior. Kevin Miles, he was a junior. They put us on each end of the court. He was in front of the junior section. I was in front of the senior section. Jam packed. I think it was like 2 minutes. See who make the most out of 2 minutes. We get to shoot. Boom, he can shoot now. Boom. We going back and forth. I'm not looking down here seeing how many he got. You know what I'm saying?
Just like they with you.
I'm just shooting. Boom, I'm just shooting till that time they'll say, And man, it got to the end, I just started hearing the crowd like, they going crazy. And man, he must have been like right on me, man. I'm talking about like, we must have been like neck and neck. And I started getting tired. I had already been shooting. I switched hands. Bam, bam, bam. So they going crazy.
When you thought you that left.
Man, they went crazy. They were like, oh, my issue. And I came back with the right, bam. And next thing I know that I heard that horn saying, everybody like just.
Well, they crazy. Started shooting with the left.
And man, but look, it was like me and him talking, it's people talk about that to this day. And that's when I knew I was like, man, I'm gonna do this in the game whenever I play. And I did it in the game. I mean, I go to my left more than I go to my right. But in Maine, man, one of my most important moments was when I graduated. Man. And I'm gonna tell you a story, man. You gotta have a 2.0 to graduate. Right? So the 4 classes that I had, they were some tough courses. 400 level courses, rhetorical history type of course where I had to do papers, and that whole year I was going through rehab, going to class, dealing with the weather, man. It was, cold. So it got down to like 2 weeks before graduation. And my mom and dad had already got their ticket to come to graduation. And 2-3 days before graduation, I went to all my classes to get my grades. Talked to my advisor. He was like, well, you gotta have a grade, this grade, this grade, this grade, and this before you. So, day before graduation, my mom and them was already on their way. I'm nervous, man, because it was a tough road for me. You know what I'm saying? And so when I end up going to his office, he calculated my grades up, and I had stuff that transferred from Faulkner that I could use to get my degree, and I stayed focused. I had good grades in school. You know what I'm saying? Like after I messed up when I went to Maine, I stayed on it, but it was a struggle. So got to the end, man, and he calculated my grades up, and it came to 1.98. 1.98. I'm telling this because after all that struggle that I went through at Faulkner, and then coming to the last part of me getting a degree.
He round that up though. He can round that up, huh?
Check it out. Now I had to take a business and technical writing class, right? And I had to get an incomplete in the class. So I had to take the class over. So I end up making a B+ in the class, right? So when we got to that, he looked at me, he was like, man, we were close.
Right.
So I'm thinking in my head, like, man, my mom and them on their way, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't finna get no degree. But let me tell you, when I told my mama before I left, I said, Mom, I ain't coming back to Alabama without my degree. I said, I'm a graduate. So boy, that man say, hold on. He called the front office of the University of Maine. He like the admission. He called him. He said, did we calculate Fred that B+ that he took over, the class he took over? Later looked it up. Like, nah, we hadn't added that in yet. So he said, can you add that in for me? So she added it, and he calculated it up. And man, he looked at me, man. He just like, it was like a burden had been lifted off of him. And he said, Fred, look. He said, man, he stood up. He said, he just put his hands out. And I looked at him. And he said, come here.
Yeah, man.
He said, look at this calculator. Man, that thing said 2.01.
I know you were hyped.
Man, it was like I just went back to my boy passing away. I went back to when I flunked out of school. I went back to, you know what I'm saying, like hurting people. And then I felt like, now I got something I can say, man, God, it wasn't me though. That's the whole important thing about this. That it wasn't about me. It was about me being able to give a testimony after all these tests that I done been through.
And I know it's crazy. You said you giving a testimony. Because that's what you wanted this interview for.
Yeah.
You wanted to have this interview because you had a testimony.
Yeah. It was a tough time, man, because I thought I had failed again. You know what I'm saying? I thought I had failed. But the Most High say, I never leave you, nor forsake you. And he'll never leave his seed begging for bread. And I thought about that. He said, Fred, I ain't never, ever left you.
Right.
Even in the wilderness of being in Maine, away from your family, having to deal with the cold, having to deal with all that, I ain't never left you. It's like the sand, the footprints in the sand. When you say, you know, God, I thought you was gonna be there for me. And he say, well, I was there. He said, when you went through that lowest time, them wasn't your footprint. I picked you up. Them were my footprints in that sand. You see what I'm saying? And so I went through all that, man. And when I got my degree, it was like a burden had been lifted off of me, man. And I all I could do was just sit there and think. You know, I ran around the campus, man. Like I called, and I'm gonna tell you now, Jack Robinson gave me a chance, another chance, when he could have got somebody else and put them in my place at Faulkner. Now you think about it now, he gave me he gave me the scholarship. And he believed in me. You know what I'm saying? He saw something in me. And the assistant coach, a guy named Pete, he saw something in me. Because he the one really got me the main. And they saw something in me, man. And he was the first person I called. Now, I knew my mama knew it was coming. You know what I'm saying? They was on the plane, so they couldn't have been the first person I called. But it was him who I called. And I went to my coach's office, John Giannini, and I said, Coach, man, I'm done. I said, I'm done. He said, what? Then he was like, what you say? I said, I'm done. And they showed, you know what I'm saying, the advisor, he talked to the advisor, he called, they was like, yeah, he through. He done graduated. He graduated from the University of Maine. And man, he said, he hugged me so tight, because guess what? I was his first recruit to graduate from the University of Maine. I was his first recruit. I was one of his first recruits, because he got there when they had already had the team.
Right.
And I was his first, me and a guy from New Bedford, Massachusetts, Marcus Wills. He became my roommate. And me and him, best friends to this day. He even do basketball training. And he got Mr. Basketball from Massachusetts 2 years in a row. 2 state championships. And so, man, it's like, when I went to Maine, man, I ended up meeting this guy, man, Dade Faison, right? He was on the team, point guard. He one of the reasons why I was one of the leading scorers in the nation. That year, Lamar Odom was the leading scorer in the nation. He was averaging like 30. And this guy, man, was one of the leading scorers, one of the leading assists in the nation. Like, he was in the top 10. And it was because of New York point guard coming down, giving it to him. All I had to do was shoot. So he made my job easy. So his brother is Donald Faison. He's an actor. He's been on Clueless. He's on the show right now. And so he ended up bringing me, man. He ended up embracing me. He brought me to New York. His mother was Felicia Rashad off of Cosby Show, was her agent. So that's how I got a chance to really mingle with people in New York. And I done been all over the country. You know, just getting on that plane, going to Maine on my recruiting visit. Ever since then, I had been getting on planes forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started getting on planes, man, and going like to California, man, and man, I played in California Summer Pro League, and Austin Simpson, me and one of my friends, Austin Simpson, his dad was Derek Simpson. He was he was director at YMCA. He brought me to California, let me sleep on his floor. He had a 1-bedroom apartment. And I snuck into a summer league. They had a Pro-Am summer league out there in Long Beach, California. And I got up that morning, went to register. You had to have an agent. You had to have all that. And I didn't have an agent. And the lady was just setting up to let people in. So she didn't ask me for no money. And you had to pay like $400 something. She asked me for no money or nothing. She just gave me a jersey.
That's the Lord.
Gave me the shorts. She let me fill out everything. So you had to go through the super camp before you made it to the big summer league. One part of the campus at Long Beach State, Pyramid, you had a small gym and then you had a big gym. You had to play in the small gym first. So they put you through all these rigorous, you had to do the mile, you had to do sprint, you had to do all these things like the NBA Combine. They put you through all of that. And then I ended up getting on a team, and the coach was Clay Moser, white guy, Clay Moser. And so we had to play 5 games. You had to do well in those 5 games to be able to, and then they'll pick you if you was good enough to play in the super camp. This is where the NBA players, the overseas players, all these guys in there. man, I end up getting a coach that he pushed me to. You know what I'm saying? And man, I was hooping, killing, man. I'm talking about I was killing. Derek Fisher, tell you how God will just bring stuff back around. Derek Fisher was at Arkansas Little Rock when Wimp Sanderson was there. The year Derek Fisher left Arkansas Little Rock and got drafted with the Lakers, I was coming in to take his position. That's why Wimp Sanderson wanted me to come to Arkansas Little Rock, but I didn't go. Derek Fisher was at this last game of this little tournament, right? 5 games. The coach came to me before the game. He said, "Fred, you in the boat. They like you, but you're in the boat. They don't know if they're gonna let you over there or not. This your game to prove yourself." I said, "All right."
You said say left.
That's all you had to tell me.
Green light.
I had 28. Hit the game winner. 5 seconds left. Guy came down, score was tied. He came across half court, lost the ball. The ball came directly to me. One bounce. I was on this side of the court now. My goal was on the other end. Chunked it.
Like a half-time, like a half-court shot?
A half-court shot. And it went, and I'm looking like, I just kept running. That thing hit the backboard. Derek Fisher at this game now. Backboard, bop, bop. Game time. I kept running with my hands up. Oh! Everybody like, oh, God! So look. So, Coach Mosley came to me after the game because you get evaluations after the game. Like after that one little thing, they give everybody evaluation, told you what you need to work on, all that type of stuff. He pulled me to the side. He said, "They want you over there." I said, "Well," he said, "Your bubble been bust." They said, "They want you over there. You able to float on over there."
Like right now.
They said, "You on this team and you start playing next Tuesday." And I'm like, now you think about this now. I got into this camp. I wasn't supposed to be there. That lady let me in. She just gave me a jersey.
So were you keeping in touch with that lady that whole time while you was in there? Like,
no.
You just ain't never see her again?
I ain't never see her no more.
That's the Lord, bro.
I ain't never see that lady no more, man. She set the table up, and it was like over with. Never seen her again.
Now the Lord.
The Most High had sent me to places where I done had to minister to people. I done had to give my testimony. I done had to show them, man, God been living through me all this time. He been with me all this time. He been understanding that, okay, this is one of my children. I'm gonna put him through something, but I'm gonna see is he gonna carry out? And every time, he led me.
So, man, Coach, isn't this somebody I want to surround y'all kids with? Like, for real. So, Coach, tell them how they can get in touch with you and how their kids, if they're into basketball or into skills, training or skills development, how can they reach you and what do you do and where you be at?
Well, my training is in the backyard. So some kids can't handle that.
I saw some videos, yeah.
Yeah, some
Malachi. What his name? Malachi? Something like that?
Yeah, Malachi.
But put Malachi through it,
man. Malachi don't even play ball no more. And I'm talking about still got game.
Oh,
If Malachi would have played right now, Malachi probably be one of the best point guards in state right now. Hey. He does his own thing. He cut hair. You know what I'm saying? He a good kid. He's smart.
You gotta find your way though.
You gotta find his way, but he real smart. His sister's smart too. Like they brilliant kids. But man, Malachi, he was working hard, boy. He was working hard. I put him through it.
But I'm talking about he was lifting tires in the grass and with a basketball dribbling in the grass. That boy doing a whole bunch of stuff.
See, man,
but
tell you.
Your training it's a difference though.
Yeah.
Cause when I was trying to play before I got passion for other things and stuff. When I was training that one, I had a good little stretch. Yeah, boy. Until I got unfocused. I didn't really want to do it no more.
Yeah. But you had your own path too, Al.
Your own path, yeah.
You had your own path, and I'm gonna tell you, one thing people need to know about you is that I've been seeing you since you were little skinny Alvin.
We different.
I rode you though. You know what I'm saying? Like you was one of them kids. You just like me. I saw myself in you.
Yeah, we got tight quick.
Man, we got tight quick. And even to this day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep praying for you. I know you're gonna be successful. And for me to be able to sit here and talk to you and be able to give my testimony to you, and I know that I put you through some stuff to make you better, and you were like, man, come me, you always on me. Yeah. I don't care, Alvin. I'm gonna make you better.
Man, I remember one time I did something. It was something you mad me about. But you said, hold on, I ain't talking. You said I ain't talking to you or something. Or you said something, man. I posted a picture. That what I got. That what I got. That pretty boy. I posted a picture on Facebook. You comment on that post. He said, that's why you tripping out right now.
I did. But that was out of love.
I don't remember though, but I remember something like that.
That was out of love though, Alvin. You know, because I know I'm telling you, man, the Most High saw, he gave me a vision on you. You know what I'm saying? And you was up, like, even when you started doing the Kappa thing, like, you was in the Kappa leadership
program and stuff.
I said, okay. I said, yeah, God, I see you. I see what you're doing to him. This is exactly what, you know, because you was always clean cut. You was always mannerable. You know, you was raised right. Your mom and dad raised you right. And I got a lot of respect for your mom and dad because I saw how you was developing. And when you told me you didn't play basketball no more, I was like, well, you know, I want you to play ball because I know you will be good at it, but I know you still gonna be successful. Yeah, what are you doing though? Because when you told me what you were doing, I said, okay, I can see you doing that. But you got to put your all into it. If it's something that you're going to do and you really want to do it, first you got to write it down. If you don't write it down, man, then you can't see it. Then it's not visual to you.
Right.
It's not a reality.
Right.
But if you write it down and then you make that part of your daily routine, you make that part of your daily action, because now when you write it down, your actions is going to be pertaining to what's on that piece of paper.
Yeah, somebody told me it was important to journal. I saw a post on Facebook, one of my friends. Mm-hmm. He posted, he said he wrote down, they had what is it called? A vision board party.
Yes, a vision board.
That's different too, a vision board party. That's a pretty unique concept.
Yeah.
So he had a vision board party with his family. He said he's going to get a Range Rover. Mm-hmm. That man got a Range Rover this year.
Yeah.
To start the year off. Well, I think it was 2 days before the year started.
Yeah,
this year. He got this year pretty much.
It don't even matter.
Range Rover.
He got it. Because I'm going to tell you, man, if you can see it,
Oh, you about to say something?
Right now, it ain't about believing. It's not about believing. It's about knowing.
The Lord he talks to you. Like yesterday. That's why I feel I'm trying to move with intention. I got a mission. Mm-hmm. That's why every time I do my show, I bring somebody on the show who really gonna make a move, because all the stuff I want gonna come.
It's right gonna come regardless.
I'm just inspiring people who want to be inspired.
Yeah.
But look, this is what happened yesterday. I want a Mercedes-Benz AMG. I talk to my big brother, my big cousin about it all the time.
Yeah.
He's like, that's gonna be your car. Tell me why. I'm working at the nightclub, right? I'm at work. On the street. Black AMG, my dream car.
Right
in the street, right in front. We stay at Mobile. You don't see them cars for real.
For real.
You might see them in West Mobile, but you ain't gonna see how you want it. It's you know, it ain't like
be able to kind of like walk up on it, ain't gonna be close to you. Yeah.
I saw that thing sitting in front of me. Let me show you how the Lord work. It was a humble guy. Mm-hmm. He owned a trucking company or something. I was like, man, you really sitting here with my dream car. I was like, the Lord know I want this car. I've been saying it for months, for a month straight. Cause recently I was just like, I really want this car.
Yeah.
This car sitting in front of me. I'm like, bro, you serious? And I'm at work too, and I'm, you
grinding.
I just came from my other job and I came to this. Then I knew I had to do this show.
Yeah.
The next day, so I'm like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Man, that AMG was sitting on this road. I talked to the man. I said, dog. I said, what kind of car is this now? I want to be sure. He said, it's a Mercedes-Benz AMG.
Man.
I said, you serious, sir? That man opened that door. I saw that AMG on like the way you step in there.
Yeah.
He said, I said, this is my dream car, sir. He said, get in, crank it up. I got that thing, cranked it up. I'm just sitting like, bro,
Ooh, boy.
this nothing but the Lord telling me, keep doing what you doing.
Keep
My
doing
dream,
what
that junk, you don't see that car too often. I saw that AMG, that car sit. I got it on my IG story right now, whatever. But that Mercedes, I'm gonna show you too when we got that AMG sitting. Was sitting there. He let me get in the car, crank it up and everything. He said,
that's vision.
That's the Lord.
That's reality.
That's the Most High.
That's the Most High.
I'm telling you, cause I said it can't just be this coincidentally happen.
No, coincidence ain't.
Yeah.
You can't believe in coincidence.
Uh-huh.
Coincidence is nothing. Reality is what it is. And when you ask for something, he said you ask, you will receive. You knock, the door will be open. You seek, you'll find.
Right.
So first, you got to know what you want. Your vision got to be there. Just like when everything was created, it was a voice that created it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to do nothing with his hands. It was a voice. He
Right.
spoke it. So that's why the term life and death is in the power of your tongue is true. Because when you speak something, it comes into fruition.
Yeah, especially you like putting
And you
your
grind
own
behind
spells.
it. Ooh,
But let me think. The 4 agreements. That's we gotta read. You really say that stuff. Don't speak it to don't speak it to the come. If you can't handle it, yeah.
You
So
gotta be able to handle it.
really, your words important.
They very important.
Now I'm trying to do better with the bad spells that I cast on people. I say something.
Yeah.
I need to watch that because you know I'm interpreting life. I'm trying to interpret life in the King's way,
In the kingdom way.
God's way.
Yes, because it's about kingdom. It's about kingdom building.
Ooh.
If you know, his kingdom gonna reign forever.
Yes, sir.
But it's like coming down, like a bride. That's what the Bible say. A bride coming down the aisle for her groom.
Right.
You know how a bride come down and she all beautiful and all that. That's how his kingdom is about to reign. You know what I'm saying? He cleaning this stuff up. He cleaning our spirits up. He cleaning our souls up. And if you let him, then you'll be able to walk in peace. You know what I'm saying? It's about walking in peace. And so the kingdom is about building everybody that's in that kingdom. The king is a servant to these people in his kingdom. The people in the kingdom don't serve the king.
He serves them.
The king serves
That's
them.
why it's like
That's
the
why
most
it's different.
They say the most influential men, the most influential people, they adding value to the community and spaces they're around by the things they do.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. And that makes sense what you said.
And the people who they pour into, the kids who they if you like being around kids, guess what? When you pour, man, my dad was at Tech Street Red. There's so many kids that know my dad, Willie Meeks. Kids know my dad and they like 40 and 50 right now. And they still know what my dad said to them.
Pouring
you know
it, like this is what I did. Cause I was like, let me start pouring into people. Let me give you a couple situations. My cousin uncle, he's like a big cousin, way older than me, so he's my uncle. This man been in a relationship with his now wife, with his wife now, all my life. So when I was like, I guess about 8, all the way I'm 19, about 11 years they was together. They took it slow, took their time. They ended up moving out, got in their own spot. They ended up getting married. Then they had a child. And it's healthy, loving.
Yeah.
I said, you know, I just want to tell you, I'm proud of you. You got your own spot. You making a good amount of money. You have a wife that loves you, and then you brought a child into this world in a good situation as of right now. I said, I got to give props to you because it's so many people that's just having children, and the children not even getting born into a good situation.
Yeah.
I said thank you because you set an example for me, and I just want to tell you, you're doing a good job because you may be like, well, I'm here to tell you, pour into you and tell you keep doing what you're doing because you have people younger than you. I admire that. That's boss to me.
It is boss.
I don't have no kid, and the kid don't have his mom and dad.
Yeah.
Or her mom and dad. I want them to be just like I was raised with both of my parents, loving on that. I want to be the exact same way.
Yeah.
I ain't selling
and that's
for
an
that.
example.
Also, it was a lady. She's from Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. It was her and her son. And I was talking to her. I said, "Oh, excuse me, where you from?" She was like, I'm from South Africa. And she was like, I was like, that's cool. I said, so you staying down here? She said, yes. I said, well, how was the experience? Da, da, da. She was like, yeah, it was such and such, such and such. I was like, cause I was at work.
Yeah.
And she paid for, I mean, that was a lot of money, you know, all this stuff. But I was just talking to her, I was just trying to see. And I was like, you know, I gotta give props to you though, because you stayed in a whole nother country.
Yeah, that's tough.
Across this world, like, and you came here and you doing good. You have a child, he's adapting to it. You good, you comfortable.
Yeah.
I said that's awesome because there's people who can't move to another state
For
or
real.
move to down the street and be
adjust.
good and adjust.
Adjust.
And you
Oh.
adjusting and stuff. I was like, you doing good.
Yeah.
And that made her, like, I could tell that made her like feel real good.
Yeah.
And her son, even her son is like a younger kid. You know, younger kids, when they first meet, they be scared and stuff. He opened up, he's like, yeah, in South Africa got the best ice cream and stuff. Like, he young and stuff. But I was like, yeah. So I try my best to pour into people.
You have to, man. That's the
I try my
that's the
best.
most important thing to do.
One more thing, because I was really proud of myself for doing it. Because it just something told me to do it. It was two young guys. I was just talking with them. I saw them, I was talking with them. And it was like, I was like, what school y'all go to? This like this. And it was like, I was like, well, what y'all doing after y'all get out of school? He was like, think about going to college, I don't know, or I don't know what I'm doing or whatever. I said, I'm only like 2 years older than you.
Yeah.
But one thing I do know, find your passion and your purpose. I know that for a fact. Once you find that and live through that, your life is gonna be, you gonna feel good, even if it's messing up. Like, I know my purpose, I know my passion, I know what I wanna do. So like right now, I'm feeling good about that. Like about that, cause I know what it is.
You gotta feel good about it.
You know what I'm saying? Cause you feel destined, you got something to wake up for.
Yeah, and you're gonna push yourself.
Yeah.
You're
And
gonna push yourself.
you treat your family better. You feel better, man. That's the man's biggest thing is that purpose and that passion.
Purpose and that passion.
You gotta know what you live for. If you're a man, you know what you live for.
You'll die for you'll live for anything. Like you can't fall. Like man, if you gotta have something that you feel in your heart that you want to give back to society, that you want to do, that's gonna help you and your family and whoever God brings around you. You know what I'm saying? That's why we live the way we live, is because you never know who you might walk up on. You never know who you might be talking to, because you might be entertaining an angel, and you never know it. But the Most High always tells us, whatever you do to the least of them, you do unto me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do to the least of.
I didn't hear that, but I
was begging.
I like that.
Yeah, because guess what? When I was hungry, I came to you, and you fed me.
Right.
When I was thirsty, you gave me drink. When I ain't had nowhere to stay, when I ain't had no roof over my head, you gave me shelter. You know what I'm saying? You might even gave me a little money in my pocket. But when we do that to the least of those people, when we don't look down on them type of people, then you have done that to God. You have done that to the Most High. And he can be joyful. You know what I'm saying? Because he know, okay, yeah, he helping that person. He doing this for that person. Because guess what? When you do it to them, you doing it to me.
Right.
But when you hurt them now, when you don't get them no bread, when you don't get them nothing to drink, when you don't get them no clothes, when you don't, you know what I'm saying, help them out.
Right.
Now you doing that to me too.
Right.
You understand? So when we walk like that, now it ain't about walking in fear of God. It's walking
Through him or something like that?
him walking through you. Because we vessels. And once we understand we vessels, then we live that type of life. We ain't gonna be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because we in the flesh. So we gonna be, we gonna get tested in the flesh. We at war with spiritual wickedness, those things, so once we understand that, then you're gonna be good.
Man.
Then you're gonna be able to bless somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm glad you came on to this show,
Man, I'm glad you had me,
Man, I'm glad you came, because
the Jerome effect.
You know it.
Yeah, I know it.
You
I'm
know it.
telling you put me in that Jerome effect, ever since I've been watching you, man, I'm like, man, Alvin growing up, Alvin being that man I knew he was gonna be. That's what the Most High showed me about you, man.
You know, it's about execution though.
You are executing.
It's about execution.
Yeah,
you know,
execute.
But God's time, you know.
Yeah.
I'ma just keep doing what I'm doing. And everybody keep doing what they doing. And whatever you want should come.
It's gonna come.
If you do right.
And I'm gonna tell you, for most kids out there, if they understood this one thing, and they'll live a long time. Honor thy mother and thy father, so that thy days on this earth may be long. Honor your mother and father. Don't cuss them. Don't talk bad about them. Because why? If it wasn't for them, you wouldn't be here. So if you can do that, now when you go out into the world, you're still honoring them. So you're going to try to make sure you do the right thing in honor of your mother and father.
That's why I try my best. You know, when I was like, we all tied into each other. You know, they got that We Click Wellness, they got the workout program. My mama, she do everything. And my daddy, his job, you know, he's a, you know.
he putting it out.
Yeah. And you know, I got my stuff going on. We got stuff to lose.
Yeah.
But if you're a person that have morals, everybody got something to lose. But we just have high standards of each other.
Yeah, and it ain't about being arrogant.
Yeah, it's just you gotta move how you better.
Yes, sir.
You better. And my mom was like, she told me, she was like, you know, you ever get in an altercation with somebody in higher authority or whatever, you make sure you respectful, you don't burn no bridges, because you may need them persons. Bridges. I'm telling you.
Don't burn no bridges,
I'm telling you.
Because you can't go back.
You can't go back. So I try my best. If I do get into somebody, get into it with somebody, that I make sure we good before we leave each other.
Yeah.
I ain't letting nothing grow. I don't care. Even if I say something to make it better and you still tripping off after, that's on you.
That's on you.
I did. At the end of the day, you be like, oh, well, Alvin, he did.
Yeah, that's on you.
You know?
Yeah, and that's anything. Relationship, that's in anything.
Anything.
You gotta know, you know, and we all gonna get angry sometime, but don't be quick to anger. You know what I'm saying? Be slow to anger.
Be slow to anger.
Try to understand the situation first. And that's with me, that's with anybody, man, because like I said, we all come short of God's glory anyway, because we'll never be able to be on that level.
Perfect, yeah.
But we can understand how life is, we can understand each other, and we can talk, because it's okay to agree to disagree. It's okay. It's okay, you know what I'm saying? But now we got kids, man. Now we got gentlemen walking around with their pants sagging, walking around disrespecting the elders.
Right.
And that's what's hurting us right now.
Especially our black men, you know.
Man, that's Alvin, man. That's like hurting us right now, because we're not understanding, man, that's not honoring your mother and father. You know what I'm saying?
But you know, sometimes it's a deeper conversation. This may be I had to bring you on the back for it though.
Yeah, I got you.
But you know, sometimes you can't look. It may sound crazy. You can't fault them for that though.
Yeah, because it's what they seeing.
It's what they exactly.
It's what they seeing.
It's the environment, and like I told you, like how my little cousin being born into a good situation as of right now. I pray and I believe, I have faith that it's still gonna stay that way. But a lot of people not being raised in a two-parent household, or even with the grandma and grandpa, the auntie and uncle, whatever, the two strong women and men and women in the household pouring into their children. They're not being born into that. And you know, like our generation, especially in Mobile, you're forbidden to be good. I want to be great. It's like, it's not, that's a spell or something. They think you, but you know, you just gotta want it though.
You gotta keep striving. You gotta keep climbing that wall. You gotta keep saying, you know, you gotta keep on believing and knowing yourself, knowing who you are.
Right.
And these times in this world, these things have been written, and it's gonna happen. And when you prepare for it, that's why it tells you to wear that whole breastplate, that whole armor of God. And that means here. You know what I'm saying? That means up here. It's not a physical armor. it's being able to understand up here what's going on, and then when you understand up here, you know how to react to it. You know how to handle different things, and then experience is always you're gonna be your best teacher.
Right.
So that's why we walk in this stuff and we able to give that testimony, because we just sat down and took the test. So when you pass it, you able to get that testimony. So now, when we understand that, now we got to start pointing to these kids and letting them understand the right way. Not telling them, but we got to show them.
Man.
We got to show them. We got to pull our pants up too. We still got 40 and 30-year-old people sagging their pants.
Sagging their pants.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you, but
Not leading.
nah, we ain't leading.
You're not leading.
So we gotta lead. We gotta be leaders. And if you can't tell these kids, if you scared to walk up on them and tell them, then that means you need to sit down. But for us, we need to be able to walk up on these kids. Hey man, pull your pants up. That just don't look good. You know what I'm saying? We gotta be able to tell them, because then that's when it's gonna change. Because when they start seeing, different things start happening, it's gonna change. So we gotta be able to pour that in them. I tell my son, like, I ask him, I said, what are you? And when he was young, I used to say, you are brilliant, you are smart, you are intelligent, you are genius, you are mindful of things that's going on. So I did that when he was like 5 to 6. So now he 9. And I say, what are you?
That boy 9 years old now, boy.
And get what he tell me when I ask him
That's crazy.
When I say, what are you? He said, I'm brilliant. I mean, like he might get mad or something. I said, what are you, Caleb? I'm brilliant.
All right, now you be saying it.
I'm intelligent. I'm a genius. And then guess what? He is a genius, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's smart. And I mean, he is intelligent. So those things that he's speaking into his life, that's how he gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That's why I instilled that in him when he was younger. So now, guess what? He telling his little brother. He telling his little brother now, Cairo, you a genius. You this, you that. And he's letting it go. Like, what are you? I'm a genius. I'm smart.
Yeah.
I'm brilliant. I'm intelligent.
Uh-huh.
Now you speaking that into yourself. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, I didn't know that when I was that young, but my mom and them started, getting me to understand that you gotta speak stuff into yourself.
I'll talk.
You gotta be able to, before you can speak it to somebody else. So now when you speak it to yourself and you speak it to somebody else, it's more powerful when you speak it to them, because it's already in you. So when it comes out to them, they finna absorb it, because it ain't coming from you. It's coming from the Most High. And he didn't already put it in you. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're doing. This is a platform for you to be able to get people to understand. Yeah, to speak to people.
That's it. I enjoy doing it.
Oh,
And it had a time, it's crazy. The people on the show that my guests that come on the show, they speak through me.
Yeah.
Cause I'm 19 with this.
You learning, man.
I ain't say I don't come as over a superior. I think it's the right way. I don't come over you. I come to grow with y'all. We live and grow together. That's what I be saying on my show.
Can't nobody tell you 19.
Together. Huh?
Can't nobody tell you that age.
Yeah, a lot of people say I'm like 23, 20, 24, but it's the people I talk to on the show and people who pour into me, and I put it in my life.
Yeah, I'm proud of you though, Alvin, man.
And
I'm telling you, I'm so proud.
This was for the heart, man. I'm glad you came on to the show.
I'm so proud of you, man. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
Cause I was able to give it to somebody, man, who I know me. I really cherish what we
have. For real. You told me, you said the Lord because you called me on some business though.
Yeah.
And every time, we don't have to talk all the time, but when we do talk, it always be a deep conversation of what it is. Yeah. You let them know you still here.
I don't call
it be the same. And it be the same,
Yeah, it's gonna always be the same. And I know, man, even with Preparation Lemonade Sphere, it's a registered trademark.
Yeah. I
can have, like, my goal right now is that I have students, adults, that I'm in a position, if they come up with a design for my trademark, they can get paid off of that. Like, I can actually
pay them for that.
Pay people for it, because they get royalties. You understand what I'm saying? Just like Nike. I'm just like Nike right now when they started off. I'm a registered trademark. And my goal is to get people to understand preparation, the action or process of being made ready. But it eliminates your fear. So you have no fear of doing things that you want to happen. You don't have no fear because it's inside of you. You already know. So if you prepare, your actions and your process, that's what's going to show.
That's what's going to show.
Your action and your process. So, you know, I just want the people to understand. It's going to be on the Olympics. You know, I've already said it. The Olympics, you know, the Olympics going to be talking about preparation eliminates fear.
Best believe it's going to be something.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be something. Because,
yes, sir.
And thank you for coming on to the show. We're about to wrap it up, y'all. Hey, y'all, make sure to like and subscribe. Follow Coach Meeks on Facebook. What's the name on Facebook?
I am Frederick Meeks on Facebook.
And also, do you have Instagram?
On Instagram, I'm a basketball shooting specialist.
All right.
So, you know, I did basketball shooting all my life, and so now I just teach it.
Right.
So I'm giving it to the students, I'm giving it to whoever need it, and that's why I'm the basketball shooting specialist. I shot over 40-some% from the field and the three in college. Same thing Steph Curry do right now.
You know it?
I already did that in college.
You know it?
I'm not saying I shoot the ball better than Steph Curry, but Steph Curry, if me and him was in a gym right now, he'll say, man, where you been?
But you confident you put in the work, though.
Yeah, I put in that work, but I can shoot from anywhere right